No, that was the end. You don't blow up with rage.
In my mind, I guess.
Okay.
Like it's, I don't know.
Right.
It does. What did I do? Anyway, so Nancy. Boy, the characters. Well,
I guess we start with Redkit. I mean, he's the most prolific, and by prolific I mean he's appeared on the most episodes and is really the most, is it flushed out or fleshed out? I've heard both are acceptable.
fleshed out, I feel is like the one that they have.
Redkit has been, I think his first mention was episode 2.
Yeah.
We mentioned him as a possible director, and you have no idea who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I initially threw it out there because you know way more about film than I do. So when asked to name directors, I just started making up names, and William Redkit just kind of came out of nowhere and then just evolved. Started as a very kind of like serious, eccentric director with a varied history. There was mentions of him being in Vietnam and being friends with George Lucas and having developed like new film techniques.
Right. Well, first of all, his tour in Vietnam was literally a tour.
Oh yeah, it happened afterwards. He was there in the 90s.
We started off with the idea of like we were a little bit afraid of him. Like he was
intimidating.
Yeah.
He's like the Brando or the the Kubrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was our Kubrick. Basically, there's no other choice. We wrote it for this guy.
Right.
In essence.
And Mark showed up for Halloween episodes, first time that we saw him. And he looked fine for the part. He had sunglasses or whatever, and he's just kind of like, hey man, you know.
Perfect, yeah.
Like the whole genesis of the character was just like this untouchable, you know, brilliant mind that we were just playing around with, you know, kind of poking fun at this of like Hollywood, just like, oh, these visionaries.
That was the idea for Redkit.
Yeah.
He had one really big hit early on, it couldn't handle the success, and now he's just this eccentric guy who, you know, lives in the mountains and doesn't have a phone.
Right.
And it evolved into our friend Mark. I don't even call him by his real name. I call him Redkit.
Right.
I mean, he's become that character. Life imitating art.
Life imitating a fart.
Oh, great character. He's going to be around for a long time. He continues to evolve.
Right.
And that's was really the start, I think, of this big universe that we ended up building.
Right. Redkit was one of those core characters. Originally didn't see, and then you see him way too much.
Really good guy, though. Yeah, I mean, it started with Marvy. Up until that point, we referred to our bosses, because we're studio execs, but we have bosses above us, right? The studio owners. We refer to them as the higher-ups all throughout previous episodes. It wasn't until our second to last episode, episode 11, where we finally are introduced to Marvy.
Right.
And it's me telling a story about going to a party and how great it was, and then he calls us. And,
hi, Marvy.
Shut your face.
And that's kind of how it all started. And we realized we needed a boss that we needed to talk to and give us direction, essentially, tell us what to do. Marvy's kind of like this old school, you know, old Hollywood, no nonsense, knows how to get things done.
But he's also someone who is like, you know, he knows where the bodies are buried, and he's probably put some of those bodies there himself.
No, old school, yeah.
Coming up with other characters, it became like, well, the phone calls could be a character. You know, you get someone on the phone, and we did the Charlie Brown voice at the beginning, and then we started incorporating like pre-existing voice recordings of these actors, major actors, and just like tying in our comments with their comments. And then it came into
we
like...
were taking samples from actual movies and having conversations with these guys. Like,
Exactly, like Rob Reiner or Michael Keaton. So with these other characters that we created, we could then just like fully do whatever we wanted with them.
Mm-hmm.
And with Marvy, it was originally, I think you were like more of a Jack Palance type voice, you know, kind of harsh. Yeah.
Andrew.
Ara.
He starts out really liking my character.
Right, because
Even though I'm like, I've kind of implied that there's an affair going on between myself and his wife.
Yeah,
it's a whole love triangle.
but it's the whole thing where it
it goes back and forth. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's true. So, but Marvy is, you know, he's a good guy.
He is. He'll be back. Nancy, his wife. I mean, it made sense.
Marvy's wife, yeah.
Marvy had to have a wife. I mentioned early on that she was younger than he.
Yeah.
Probably in her 20s.
Yeah, I think you had said like 19 at the beginning.
Is that what I said?
I think it was like.
She's very punctual. I've never met a more punctual 19-year-old.
Punctual.
Sounds about something I would say.
Yeah.
And again, just like Marvy, she has a love-hate relationship with both of us. There's one point where she really likes me and hates you, and then that switches around by the time we get to our final episode. And then so they actually end up getting divorced. We learn about this in a special feature video. They get divorced, and Nancy gets everything, including the studio. And we're surprised to learn that she is our new boss.
Right.
And we're very concerned, as we should be, because we've both burned that bridge with her. She's very upset with us and is looking to basically destroy us.
Yeah, Nancy's whole shtick was, I think we had included her at the beginning simply because it was kind of fun to just create these characters, and it's like create a world for Marvy as well, and for Nancy.
Of course, we needed a strong female lead.
Well, yeah, so naturally we went to you.
Absolutely. I mean, where else would we go? We don't know any women.
The voice of Nancy is you portraying the voice that you would give for your dog Delilah.
It's the same voice I've been using for 10 years now.
Right.
For our little Yorkie, Delilah, and she just talks like this, and she's the boss of the house, and always she's got like that raspy thing, and it's like that falsetto, gravelly falsetto voice. That's what it is. She doesn't sound 19. She sounds like terrible, but Aura, Andrew, Aura. Same thing.
Okay.
They have progeny.
They do, except it's not Marvy has progeny. It's not with Nancy though.
Is that right?
I think we wrote it as like Marvy had other wives or something like that.
I didn't know this. No, this is new to me.
No, come on. I mean, it's like we must have said that at some point, or something like.
I don't remember. That's
like PETA was like yelling that like it's not my mother or something like that. Like maybe I have to pause it.
No, he's like my dad doesn't know how to pronounce my name. That's what he's yelling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's PETA, but he doesn't know how to say it's PETA. Yeah, that's what it is.
It is pretty close. I thought it wasn't.
There's no mention of. I would remember this.
Do you want to stop it then?